Hello, and welcome back to Destiny's Princess, a war story, a love story.
A forbidden romance.
Aw, don't sound so bored.
I'm not bored, I'm disappointed, because the story's about to end.
Oh.
Yes.
It is about to end.
I'm very sad about that. We're near the end, and we're only 54% likable.
I know.
And I'm pretty sure I know which 54% is the likable.
Really?
Yep.
What 54% is?
Oh, you know. You know.
Is it her giant head? That is half of her body.
Well, I was actually implying there were two of us, and therefore I was the 54% because I'm bigger than you.
Oh,
but that was,
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
That was the joke.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's move on.
To
Black sheeps.
Oh, the black sheeps. That's racist.
Is it?
It's it's not for the, white sheeps.
I guess.
Everything had ended, and she fell asleep for a bit. She had a dream.
The small demon was dancing with its chest in a pale white haze.
It's dancing with its chest? That's unusual.
That is very, very unusual.
But wait, hadn't you returned to the underworld? The small demon laughed, and suddenly turned around. Did your wish come true? You're not talking with me. What's the problem here?
Did your wish come true? Did you think it had come true? I did. Well, yes. Of course it did, didn't it? The hole to the underworld had been sealed. The demons couldn't come here anymore. Our country was saved.
Yay. Let me see. Let me see. Is that really the truth?
What did he mean?
Whoa, zoom. Had you really wished to save your country?
Or had you wished to get some booty?
Oh my god, he tricked you this entire time. You would wish for booty, but instead he saved all of your people.
Damn it! Of course! That's what I meant to do.
Is it?
No, I was going for booty.
Ah.
The small demon's shadow went further away.
I really wish it was just tiny off in the distance now.
Yes.
Unfortunate.
I didn't want it to go. What had it meant? Hey! Hey! Huh? My heart was dancing wildly. My heartbeats were pulsing through my body.
Feel that rhythm. Feel the rhythm. It's pulsing through you, girl. Do the Macarena.
Hey, Macarena.
That's not how you do the Macarena.
But I said the words.
That...
They can't see me. For all they know, I was doing the Macarena.
She wasn't.
I was.
She wasn't.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
My hand was reaching out in front of me, just like I had done in the dream. It was just a dream. Still, it had some sort of meaning behind it.
Is any dream just a dream when you've had, when you've met the demon, though? I'd be like, yeah, I mean, if I had never actually met a demon before, maybe I'd consider it just a dream. But you've met a demon.
I know.
So it's entirely no, I'd be like, oh, maybe it's just how they do Skype calls.
Yes, it's how they do Skype calls.
I mean, did your wish come true?
Did it come true?
Did you think it had come true? Read the text.
I can't read. We've established this. Why had I seen that dream now?
Because he was talking to you.
My wish was to save the people, and the castle, and the nation. And that's all. Not for booty. It was not for booty, it was for booty. At least that's what I meant to wish. But... was he trying to tell me it was something else?
Yes.
When my words entered my ears, I suddenly remembered Masamune. Oh yeah, booty. Masamune? No one else was in the cave we'd slept in last night.
You hadn't slept.
No, we were doing it.
All night long. All night.
Indeed.
Sorry.
The sunlight leaking through the treetops was proof that the night had passed. Are you in a cave that has a canopy top?
Of course.
Okay.
It's Japan.
I guess. The fire had burned out, but the ash was still warm when I touched it.
And ash seeketh ember. Wait, wrong game. Never mind.
I mean, there are demons in this.
Oh my god, this is the prequel to Dark Souls.
No, it's really not.
Damn it.
Had he gone to see what was going on outside? It was like I'd said it to convince myself. Masamune, where are you? My voice reached the outside, but it just echoed. No one replied.
Oh man, if I don't have to do any voices in this, it's gonna be great.
I suddenly became frightened.
Boom.
It can't be. Had he gone back? Had his memories returned, and had he gone back to his world? I'll be by... Oh.
I'm sorry, if you want to read my...
Arr, I'll be by your side.
Matey.
Matey.
I'll never leave ya.
Even after he said that to me. He's like all men in my life. Liars.
Yep, true.
Masamune! Masamune! I prowled around the area like a wild cat while calling his name. Meow. The forest was still. No one replied. There were no birds. There were no insects.
But
it was dead quiet.
From time to time, you heard the footsteps of small animals. And that was it.
Masamune, where are you? After a little while of walking around... Dot. 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 Why was that not...
Dot, dot, dot.
I finally stopped.
Lots of ellipses.
Why was that not just a...
I don't know.
Before I knew it, I was crying like a little girl. Wah. Masamune. I at least wanted to say goodbye. I wanted to etch his voice and face into my mind.
With the dagger. Dig it in there. Dig it in deep.
Maybe this was my divine punishment for tricking those men and making them fight.
Probably. You are a horrible person.
I am. I didn't think everything would end so soon.
It's been soon?
Masamune. I couldn't walk anymore. At this rate, I was going to pass away. Really? Okay.
Well, you know.
I mean, heartache is tough, I guess.
Yeah, well.
When I gotten on the floor and covered my face, I heard someone stepping on the shrubs.
Crunch.
Masamune?
And... Yar, that's right. It's me, Masamune. Oh!
I lifted my head, and the first thing I saw was a dirty scoundrel.
Sandal.
Sandal. Sorry, I saw scoundrel. And a dirt-filled toenail. Ew. Ew. That is a visual we don't need. Thank you for not showing that game.
That would be great. That's the one piece of art they illustrate. A dirty foot.
Oh
Game of the year.
I looked further up and saw a bearded man with dirt on his face, smirking.
It's the real Masamune.
Behind him, two similar-looking men came out.
Oh, there's someone here.
Yeah, and she's quite the pretty lady.
Oh, well, well.
The men slowly surrounded me. I stood up, stepped back, and glared at them. What country are you men from? Do you know who I am?
Kentucky.
When they'd heard that, they looked at each other and smiled with yellow, crooked teeth.
We're not from any country.
Wahahaha. This girl is talking like a little princess. No, she might actually be a princess from one of the countries destroyed by this war.
How many countries were involved in the war?
All of them.
I thought we were.
North Korea invaded everyone.
Oh.
All of
Wouldn't
them.
it be Russia because it's Vladimir Putin?
But he allied with the North Koreans to do it.
Oh.
Wasn't there gossip of royalty barely escaping death?
What the hell is going on? One of the men got on his knees in front of me and lifted my kimono.
What is going on here?
Eek!
I say eek.
No, I said eek.
Wow, these are some nice panties. This is silk, isn't it? We could sell it and the girl it's covering up for a lot of money, can't we?
With that kimono and the girl inside it, we could live in luxury for hours.
They wanted to sell it for a lot of money? They wanted to sell me?
Honestly, I have no idea what the hell is going on.
We might have picked the bad ending.
Yes. Victory is mine.
It took me a while to understand what had been going on. Okay.
Me too.
Okay. Let's assume that these guys are from some other place, not Japan.
Well, they're wearing sandals, so I'm still assuming we're talking about somewhere in like Japanese history, right?
I guess.
Like they're not like the French. They're not French vagabonds.
Well, no, but even if they were like, I mean, I guess.
Oh God, what if they're Swedish?
Wasn't it the Dutch that went to Japan and like started?
Yes, but I was trying not to actually go into real history here. I was just pulling random countries out of a hat.
Oh.
They're Yemenis. I don't know how you say that. Is that what you say for people from Yemen? I don't know.
I have no idea. I understood what they said and became violent when they came upon me.
Rawr.
You scoundrels! See, they are scoundrels.
They are scoundrels. You can
Definitely
identify
not.
all of that from their dirty toe.
I could. Don't touch me with your tainted hands! I took my kimono back from his hands. Stand back, you people. You think people like you are allowed to touch me?
People like me, huh? What is that supposed to mean?
Bearded people. They said you were bearded. In real life, he has a beard.
Hey, no I don't.
IRL.
Don't. No. My identity is a closely guarded secret. Now I have to shave.
Aw, no, I like your beard. Your non-existent beard.
Mm-hmm. It will be non-existent soon. As she spoke, she put her hand on her boobs, but...
The dagger's gone. That was right. I'd returned it to the underworld. I opened my eyes wide. I thought I could use it as a weapon at least.
Your eyes?
Yeah.
You opened your eyes wide and thought you could use your eyes as a weapon at least?
No, the dagger.
I know, but that's just how it read.
I know. I bit my lip and ran away.
And it fell off because you bit it, like you just bit right through that sucker when you ran. You should not bite your lip while running.
I couldn't win against 3 wandering warriors unarmed. So they're samurai.
Are they?
They're Ronin.
Are they Ronin?
I guess.
Okay.
Why else would they be wearing sandals?
Because I think that's just what they wore.
Yeah, but...
Weren't sandals like normal footwear?
They probably were. One of the men was as fast as a monkey and came in front of me. Ah! I immediately changed directions, but there was another man waiting there. They were multiplying. What was I going to do? When I turned around, the last man had grabbed my arm. Ah!
Hee. Before we sell her off, why don't we try her out for ourselves?
He violently threw me on the ground, and the man that caught me soon climbed on top of me.
Hey, wait. Will you wait for a second? We have to decide who goes first, don't you know?
John Ken Poe.
Dynamite. What are you yapping about? I'm the one who found and captured her. I go first.
I'm the one who initially heard her voice.
1 in 3 keep changing voices.
That's fine. While they were arguing, I scratched the face of the man who was on top of me.
Gah.
He put his hand on his face and bent backward. I tried to run in that moment, but...
This broad thinks she's feisty.
Good. He stabbed his scabbard into my belly. I felt nauseous from the pain and vomit.
Blech. I endured the
No,
pain.
I didn't vomit. I just felt nauseous from the pain and the vomit.
Oh, okay. Continue.
I endured the pain, but one of the men smirked and grabbed my face. The moaning man pushed me down.
More.
This girl needs to be punished a little.
Ah! My kimono was pulled open. A filthy hand was now touching my skin. I think we really might have got the bad ending.
I'm like, this rape scene's taking a little long, game.
It was completely different.
I'm sure Masamune's gonna show up in a moment and save you.
Yeah.
But this is a little uncomfortable.
It is. It is a little uncomfortable.
Like... Okay.
It was unlike Masamune's gentle touch. No.
Hehe, she looks great. Her skin is like silk, isn't it?
No, that's my kimono you're touching.
Oh, my bad.
Let go of me, you brute! I didn't want this to happen. I'd rather bite my tongue off than endure this shame.
Yeah,
But before I die, I wanted to have one more glance. Just one more glance of him. Masamune! I screamed at the top of my lungs. It was an instant sound.
Intense. It was an intense sound.
Sorry. It was an intense sound. I then saw a deer or a horse rushing over.
You know, they're basically the same.
Basically. And then the next thing I saw was the wide eyes of the man on top of me. His tongue came out of his gaping mouth.
And ran away.
Immediately after, blood flowed out. Ah! His body shook and fell over. After I had been showered with his warm blood, his warm vermilion blood.
I was hoping. I was like, come on.
I shrunk and held my breath. The person who'd appeared behind the dead man was...
Who was it? Who is it?
Masamune!
Ah!
Oh my god, a new picture. The sun shined behind him. I'd never seen Masamune like this before. In the daylight.
Kind of looks worse drawn, to tell you the truth.
It really does. His eyes carried a strong light. Seeing him expressionless was scarier than seeing in angry.
Seeing in angry, yeah, you are right. However, he has an expression on his face. I would call that a pissed off expression.
Yeah. It was like his thin, tight body
so
was...
tight. So tight. It's like a vice. In
Okay.
a body like a vice.
Okay, his thin,
Like
tight...
a boa constrictor. Just squeezing. Like the grip of a professional arm wrestler. That was what his body was like.
was giving off an aura of visible rage, anger, rage.
A very tight rage. A squeezing rage.
Yes. Masamune grabbed the fallen man's hair and threw him on the ground like a piece of trash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Masamune just throws trash on the ground?
Apparently.
He is a litter bug.
He is a litter bug.
You maggot. What do you think you're doing?
The man who'd I'd scratched pulled out his sword and came at Masamune. Without changing his expression, Masamune dodged his blade and stabbed his stomach. Masamune kicked him and pulled out his blade. He then cut his head clean off.
I am slain.
His movements had been slick, and tight, and had no sign of hesitation.
The tightest of movements.
The man screamed and soon died.
Ah!
The third man turned around and tried to run away. However, Masamune seized the man's hair quickly. He pulled him back and bent his neck. Without a second thought, he slit the man's throat. Blood gushed out in an arc.
Psst, psst, psst.
Whoa.
Hey!
Sorry.
How dare you try to read my dialogue?
I am so very sorry. I was just really excited by, like, the close-up of his eyes and red.
Indeed. Yar! I think it's pitiful to kill them so quickly. His voice was deep and monotone. She remembered something Yukimura had told her a long time ago. I was afraid he might mistake me for a demon and shoot me. I was scared of being next to him, but I couldn't help it. I just had to squirm all up next to that nice tight little form of his. What?
What? This was what he'd meant. It was my beloved's face on the battlefield, the ferocious form of a military commander. I couldn't get any words out of my mouth. It wasn't because I was scared, it was because I was in awe. And we're back to a boring... ... Masamune let out a soft sigh.
Yar.
He then slowly turned toward me. His face had its usual smile on it, even though he had just slaughtered those men.
Just dripping with blood. I wish this illustration was just bloody.
Yeah.
Exactly the same, just
imagine
overlaid.
blood just all over him. Like,
Yes.
it's dripping out of his hair, it's running
man.
down his face, it's splattered on his clothes. Like,
If I
that's
had-
what he should
If
look
I
like.
had After Effects, man, I would just do... I would overlay him with
Just red.
gore. Vermilion.
Vermilion. Of course. He got on his knees in front of me.
Sorry for leaving ye on your own.
Dude, I literally was almost raped because you left me on my own.
But you weren't, and that's what's important at the end of the day, right?
I don't know, actually. I don't know if that's true.
I'm just saying. I'm sure ye were very scared.
Annoyed and terrified are the words I would use.
Yar.
He slowly got closer and hugged me with his powerful, tight arms.
Tight
Oh.
hug. It's a tight hug.
It's a tight hug. Oh. He'd come back to me. Masamune. I clung to his chest with all of my strength, which wasn't much. I washed the blood off me at a nearby riverbed. We then rode on a horse he'd found somewhere.
Somewhere.
Just, random horse.
It was actually the horse that belonged to those guys.
Probably.
Ye were sleeping so soundly, so I went to check out the surroundings for a bit, looking out for rapists and the whatnot.
You didn't do a very good job.
I found them, didn't I?
Almost too late.
But not too late. It took longer than I thought. This might sound strange, but...
I suddenly remember who I am. We're getting all sorts of new backgrounds. Masamune had stopped talking and gazed at me. I gazed back.
I couldn't find the castle.
The castle?
Yeah, that place.
He scratched his head and frowned like he was having a hard time finishing his
They're
sentences.
now in the year 2016 and now have to find their way in the big city.
Indeed.
I can't say it very well, but why was I serving you at your castle, by the way? Like, why the hell was I doing this? I'm the head of the Date clan, so why would I be serving the Oda clan?
It is Date and not Date, right?
I think it's Date.
Okay. So he's Date Masamune?
Yeah.
Okay. Hasn't Nobunaga-sama died already? Are you his relative, Toli?
Oh shit.
I just don't know anymore. What in the world have I been doing up until now?
Making out. I felt strange listening to his words. And by strange, I mean guilty and miserable because I'm a horrible person and I'm finally realizing that.
So technically your character was like bringing people from like the future. Because I'm pretty sure you would know who Nobunaga was if Nobunaga had lived before you did. I mean, Nobunaga is probably the biggest figure in Japanese history, right?
Yes, but I think his last name was Oda.
Was he still an Oda?
I think he was Oda Nobunaga. I don't know. I thought...
All I know is Nobunaga's a really big member of history, and the point is you didn't know who he was, so I'm pretty sure that means you were from before his time. So I think you brought a whole bunch of people from the future.
That must have been really awkward for them.
Yeah.
He'd returned to his former self, and yet he was still by my side.
Well, here's the thing. I think you're in his time now.
I do too. But you remember everything about me. He answered my questions as if it had been obvious.
Well, yeah, duh. Who would forget their own wife? I mean, come on. Don't look like an idiot?
You lost your pirate voice.
Wait, you think that's real? You think I talk like a pirate all the time? Dude, it just goes with the eye patched. Like, now that you mention it, you really bought into that entire pirate thing? I mean, I did to pick up chicks.
Oh. Oh, well, it worked. Yar.
Now you mention it.
He put his hand on his chin.
Yeah, you know what? You seem to like it, so...
Yar, I have a feeling I'd seen a strange dream.
As long as you like him. Just doing it for you, wife.
It amuses me.
Alright.
A dream?
Yar, I remember that I was the Date clan's leader in that dream, but... When I'd remembered, I was worried about the castle, then someone asked to take me away.
And then?
I just said this, but...
I know, it's a weird sentence.
I just said this, comma, but, period. I'd said that I couldn't leave my cute wife behind. Or her behind.
So, by having sex in the cave, are we officially husband and wife? Is that what I'm getting from this?
I guess. I mean, you consummated the marriage.
But there wasn't a ceremony.
Well, they're not... They're feudal Japanese. I don't really know what that requires.
I guess. I mean, If Game of Thrones taught me anything, marriage...
They're Japanese, not pseudo-English.
Yeah, I know, but they're still, like...
I'm pretty sure they're, like, Shinto.
Well, do Shinto not have some sort of, like,
I have
binding
no idea.
ceremony?
I have absolutely no... You know, to tell you the truth, in anime, how many, like... Admittedly, maybe just the animes I've watched, but almost every anime I've seen with a wedding, it was either like a completely fake fantasy sci-fi thing, or it was Christian themed, you know, like Sailor Moon. So, I don't actually know what the Shinto do for their marriage ceremonies.
I would think there would still be, like, a Shinto priest sanctifying the couple.
There's gotta be, like, something with ancestors.
I guess, yeah, like... Yeah.
We're stupid. Leave a comment.
Masamune might have talked to the small demon. Maybe I was with him now because he'd said he couldn't leave me behind.
Yar, if she had been 2% lower, but she made it. Hey, do you know what happened?
No.
But everything happened for a reason. But it'll take a long...
No, I said no.
Oh,
Really?
He frowned, but then he nodded calmly. It was just like him to do that.
Well, in that case, let's go get lunch.
Sounds good.
I'm sure you're hungry too, yo. That's how I always feel after almost being raped. We'll be there soon, so hang on.
Where are we going?
Over thar.
Masamune pointed to something that looked like a castle. I
It
thought he
looks
said he
like-
couldn't find the
He
castle.
couldn't find your castle, but he can find his.
Oh. It looked completely different from my castle.
Told you.
That is my castle.
Oh my.
Is it much taller and girthier than what you're used to?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd had a feeling it happened, but it looked like I'd come to another world. I was sure this... So, okay. So we've clearly followed Masamune into his world, right?
Yep.
So are the other dudes also from Masamune's world, or are they from a separate world, and are they still stuck in my world?
I think they all went back to their original timelines.
And they're like, damn, I missed out on some booty.
Yep, well.
I was sure this
Except
was...
for Hanbei. Hanbei didn't go back.
No, Hanbei died.
No.
Well, maybe he did, because
No, he did.
He did?
He did.
He did.
He
Okay.
did.
I was sure this was the place Masamune had come from. It was different from my country. It's not because you're in the same country, they're just different time periods, you son of a bitch.
Language.
I was somewhere far away. Are you dumb? A million things were going through my head. The handmaiden that had taken my place and was waiting for me, the vassals that had served me,
Yo, bro.
the tired faces of the civilians that had taken refuge in the castle.
Refuge.
The refugees in my castle. Everyone, I'm sorry. In my mind, I bowed my head to all the people I'd left behind. I couldn't check to see if they were safe. All I could do now was pray. All I could do was carry that pain as I lived on. As I lived on in this unknown world with the man I loved. This is a lovely black screen for us to be looking at while we're reading this about the man we love. If he hadn't been with me, I would have already been dead. I'm pretty sure you would have been alive. You would have just been, like, violated and then sold.
No, the demons would have killed you in the opening scene.
Oh, I guess so.
When we get to the castle, I'll make a feast with your favorite dishes.
He had a carefree smile on his face. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I put my face on his chest so he couldn't see me cry.
I thought you were riding a horse.
Oh!
Alright, final chapter B is complete. Is that the end?
No, there's final chapter B epilogue?
Is there? Well, let's take a look. Let's see what you're at in likability. Nothing new. Okay. The spirit will go on. Alright, folks, the spirit will go on, but in I think, the ultimate final finale complete episode.
Indeed.
So, if you've liked the series so far, please give it a like, and if you've watched this far,
thank you.
That and subscribe, because we'll probably do more stupid Japanese dating sims.
We probably will.
Yes, maybe with a slightly different theme. But we will see how that goes. Until next time, I have been the Alchemical Rabbit,
And this is a Toli.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.